My mom walked in my room, sat down on the floor, and said words that no teenager ever wants to hear. I think we should talk. She started a speech that I could have recited from memory, that she hated that we never talked to each other, how she wished everything was different, and how she really felt like she was going to lose me. She took a deep breath and said, "My friend does this thing with her son that I'd like to start doing with you. It's called the cup of sugar. So every night I'm going to come to your room and tell you 3 things that I appreciated about you that day. Nothing more. And all you have to do is listen." And she walked out. So every year my parents would make this feeble attempt to fix our family dynamic. From middle school to high school, we had become experts in blaming, shaming, and screaming. So everything Brene Brown tells you not to do. So they would make a bunch of promises that they would soon forget, and the fighting would start back up again. So this time, I wasn't going to be drawn in. This time, I was going to end things myself. I couldn't really stop her from trying this cup of sugar thing, but I could make her attempt very, very difficult. So the following evening, she comes in my room, and I make it a point to look at her and then turn around, forcing her to talk to the back of my head. And I hear the rustle of a notebook behind me. She says, "Ashwin, I appreciated that you washed your plate after dinner, that you texted us when you were running late, and that you wished your aunt happy birthday without me having to remind you to do so." And as promised, she walked out. And the following evening she was back, and the evening after that, the evening after that. And every evening I thought I expected that she would give up like she had all those other times, but that night never really came. And in the cup of sugar, she noticed things that I thought she hadn't. That, you know what, yeah, I was working really hard in calculus. I was trying to fight with my dad less. And yeah, I was a safe driver. So, all this was true, but see, I knew how this story was going to go. It was going to end with me being the chump who thought that things could really be different in our family. It would end with my heart on the floor, not hers. I refused to fall into the false promise of this cup of sugar, and so I started turning the screws. When she came in, I would rummage through my backpack, I would type loudly on my keyboard, and sometimes I would even watch a video on YouTube. But nothing deterred her. Nothing made her react. Always 3 bullet points, and no blaming, no shaming, and no screaming. And one night she comes in and her face looks a little different. And I think to myself, I knew it. I knew she was going to give up, just like all those other times. So this time I didn't turn around. This time I looked straight at her, soaking in my victory. And she says, "Ashwin, it's been a year of Cup of Sugar, and I just want to say thank you for listening to me so patiently." And I bit my lip. A year? Had it really been that long? I was glad that the cup of sugar was still only 3 bullet points that night, because had it been any longer, she would have seen me hang my head and weep. And the following evening when she came in, there were no antics from me this time. Still 3 bullet points, and no blaming, no shaming, and no screaming. My mom continued the cup of sugar every night for over 2 years until I left for college, and she never missed a day. I had been wrong the whole time. I had thought the cup of sugar was a mirage, and she showed me it was an oasis.